first got started on radio, tell me that again.
Well,
no, you can't. It's okay. Radio's come a long way, Jack.
All right. It has come a long way. I moved to a little town in Preston, Idaho on my first radio job. And people would say, how are you doing in the new town, the new job, and how are you making out with the women? I said, you'll find out when I play Back in the Saddle again on the air.
All right, so now you actually, you're a retired from the Army, you were a squad leader, platoon infantry, and you had been in since, you were in about a year, you said, before the attack on Pearl Harbor.
I was in the California National Guard, and we were inducted March 3rd, 1941, which was about 11 months before Pearl Harbor. And we were down at Camp San Luis Obispo the day of Pearl Harbor. I was sitting in the day room, as a matter of fact. Day room meaning, at that time, rec room, and I heard the radio broadcast. And so they immediately came and gave us rifles, bayonets, ammunition, put us on trucks, and took us down to San Diego to patrol the beach, because they thought maybe the Japs were coming in there. And I was a little 16-year-old kid. I wasn't very eager.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. I thought it might be the case. I was going to ask you, but you kind of answered the question. Do you remember what that day was like, that moment when you heard the news? And obviously it comes right back to you.
Well, no, because in those days, we didn't know where Pearl Harbor was. We didn't know what Pearl Harbor was. I mean, it's become Hawaii. We didn't know where Hawaii was, or we knew where Hawaii. We didn't know anything about Pearl Harbor.
Right.
We didn't know why the Japs had come in there. Of course, we were National Guard. We were youngsters. I actually only had 1 year of high school.
Huh.
And so I was a little baby.
Right, right. Well, I bet you grew up fast, though.
I grew up pretty fast. We went to the Aleutians, and then Kwajalein, the Marshalls, and Leyte in the Philippines.
I can tell it's bringing back some memories right now. That in Veterans Day today, but again, you know, I think it's important that we live life that every day is Veterans Day. We don't just take that one day out of the year. And we're so glad that you came in with us this morning. And I understand you've actually had the opportunity to be on one of the honor flights.
I have. I'll finish what I was saying. To Okinawa, which was a naughty battle. Yes, I went on an honor flight March 27th of 12. Just a year ago. I was so honored to go. When most of us, we hear about the people coming back from Vietnam not being welcomed, and that's true, and it was a shame, but we didn't have any parade and welcoming committee coming back. I came back and went and got a job for a couple of months, and I had my mother, and she said, thank you, and just about nobody else did.
Does it make you, how does it make you feel? Because now, it seems like that culture has changed, that we're not going to let that happen anymore.
I hope that's the case, because it was well, of course I hope there are no more wars to begin with, but I guess our society will never rectify itself to the point where there aren't wars. I guess that's just a thing of our future.
It seems. It seems that somehow we can get past it, but we don't, and it's men like you and women now as well that help keep America what it is today. And the honor flight that you took, when you saw that memorial for the first time in Washington, what was the first thing that came back to you?
Well, actually, nothing came back to me about the World War II thing, with the exception of the way it's designed. They had different battles written on the walls, and then it came back to me, and a lot of memories as I was look at the Aleutians, and I'd look at the Marshalls, and the Philippines and the Okinawas. That brought back the memories of hundreds of dead men, friends that are still over there. That was what it was. I had one interesting experience. There was a major walking around the World War II museum, and I saw him just walking around, and he came up and took a ribbon off of his jacket and gave it to me. I don't know why.
The camaraderie that you had, because did you know any of the other members that were on that particular honor flight before?
No, did not. We had one of the people has since died, and I don't know if others have. No, I didn't know anybody on the flight at all. No.
By the time you landed, how well did you guys know each other? I mean, it's...
Well, of course, we were on the plane from, I'm going to say 9:45 in the morning until we got there about 7:30. We didn't get up and mix around on the plane. I didn't, honestly, I was a little naive. I did not want to know what went on the flight, where other people had gone online and studied it, and they knew what to expect. I didn't. I wanted to be surprised by the whole thing. But we didn't mix around and visit an awful lot. I don't know, it was maybe a little sacred to us. I wasn't there to socialize, and never did too much of it. I did have one enjoyment I have to tell you about. There was a captain sitting kitty corner from me, and a nice guy, and he ordered a second drink. This is coming back after we all had known each other. He ordered a second drink and laughed. He says, "I got a second drink there, GI." And so when the hostess came by, I said, "Bring me 2 more. Don't let him know." And she did. And so I'm sitting there in both hands a drink, and I said, "Now look at here, smarty."
That's how they do it in the infantry. Well, of course, the Veterans Day Parade is going on today. What would you tell people, especially younger Americans who, World War II is a distant memory. For some of it's not a memory at all. They may not have had family that was in that war. But what makes a veteran feel appreciated more than anything? Or what is it that people don't understand about veterans that you'd like them to know today on Veterans Day?
Oh, I don't even know how to answer your question, because I have never thought of it that way. I wrote a letter which was published about the anniversary of Okinawa, and I just think of the hundreds of people that I lost. That's what Veterans Day really means to me. It's not a flag-waving situation to me. It's a fact of life. And my buddies are still there.
Right. Honor Flight Arizona. For other World War II veterans that maybe have not checked this out yet, is it something that you would recommend for them?
I'm highly emotional about it. As I say, I had nobody waving flags for me and saying good job or anything else. We didn't get what we get now, and so deservedly people say thank you for your service. Nobody did that to us at that time. So I was extremely emotional all 3 days, and was for quite some time afterwards. It kind of brought it all together for me. I'm 90 years old. What have I got, a year or 2 left, and it brought it all together.
Well, first off, sir, you don't look anywhere close to 90 years old.
That's a lot of vodka.
Oh, that's what I'm doing right then, because you said I don't look anywhere near 51. Yeah, 51. So I guess I'm going down the right path, because I've got your back on that one. Anything else you want to add this morning on Veterans Day?
No, except to thank all the veterans for what they have done and what Honor Flight's done for me. And thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, sir, it's a pleasure to have you in this morning. Jack Bankson, World War II veteran and a real American. And so honored to have you in the studio today. Thanks for sharing your thoughts about the past and Honor Flight.
Thank you. It was kind of fun for me. I told you on the side, I was in your business all my life. I worked for Gene Autry the cowboy, and my first time I said "How now, brown cow" on the radio was in 1947.
Oh my goodness.
That's a while back.
Could you teach me a couple things how to do this right then?
No.
Trust me, there's a lot of listeners who say, you've got to teach him something.
I'm sure you've learned a lot more than I ever did. Thanks again.
Thank you, sir. It's Veterans Day. It's about 10 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Is that right? Because that clock up there has got me completely messed up. Yes.